What if I told you the one thing I talk about the most was the one thing I was quietly failing at? Health. For years, I barely slept. 4, 5 hours a night, sometimes less. And I didn't just notice it, I judged myself for it. Because here I am, a leadership coach, someone who teaches energy, focus, and well-being, and I couldn't even get my own sleep under control. That's where shame started to creep in. True shame. Not, this isn't working, but what's wrong with me? I kept thinking that over and over again. And that's a very different place to operate from. So, shame doesn't move you forward. It keeps you stuck. And that is the thing about shame. I was stuck. And I tried everything I knew. New Year's resolutions, weekend resets, morning routines, mindset work, everything. And every morning I tell myself, oh, tonight will be different. I'm going to bed earlier. And every night, it didn't happen. Same pattern, same frustration, same quiet disappointment in myself, that feeling of shame. And I felt like I was in a loop I just couldn't get out of. I was stuck. So that's what's interesting in this. The more I pushed, the worse it actually felt. Because I wasn't just trying to fix the behavior. I was trying to fix myself. At some point, something shifted. And now this is really important. It wasn't even a dramatic shift. It just shifted enough. Like a small little move, like a Petite practice. I stopped making it about who I was. And I started looking at what I was doing. And that's the difference between shame and guilt. Before, my shame said, I'm the problem. The guilt says, something I'm doing is not working. And that small shift really mattered. Because one keeps you frozen and the other one gives you something to work with. Now, this is really important because I got honest with myself. And that's why I was able to get out of it. What if I'm not failing? What if my current approach is just not enough? And what if I don't have to solve this alone? So I looked for solutions. And it wasn't easy to admit that I couldn't do it myself. Because when you're used to being capable, asking for help, even indirectly, can feel really uncomfortable. But I decided to try something completely different. I actually made not just another resolution. I didn't just use more pressure on myself. I asked for support. And you can ask others, or you can look at a device. So I brought in something that was outside of me. I got an Aura ring and it helped me. An Aura ring that I wore every day. And here's actually what really surprised me. It didn't fix me, who I am. It actually didn't even judge me. It didn't push me either. So none of these things would work. It just gave me feedback. And that was all what I needed. It was a gentle nudge at night. It gave me clear data in the morning. And how long did I sleep? How deep did I sleep? How recovered I actually was? And a data geek as I am, that's all what I needed. There was no emotion attached to it. It was just information. It was beautiful. And that changed everything. My shame, my guilt transformed. Because now, instead of guessing, I could see. Instead of judging, I could adjust. And this is really what moved me out of that emotional loop of shame into something much more practical. So guess what, audience? Small shifts, Petite practice, earlier bedtime by a little. Paying attention to patterns, noticing what actually helped. That's when the real magic happened. Because over time, it worked. No more sleeping 4, 5 hours. Not overnight, but steadily my sleep increased and I became really aware about how my body adjusted to it. And that's the part I want you to really take away with you today in this video. That if you are in this loop of shame, if you're stuck in something right now, and whether that's sleep or something completely different, something you keep telling yourself, you should have figured this out by now. I completely know. I've been there. Guess what? Don't be so hard on yourself, because you just need to pause for a second, and maybe what you should even do is asking for help the way that I did that, because you're operating from shame and something you can't get out of yourself. You just maybe need to work at it from a little bit of a different angle. With that, can't wait to see you in the next episode. And I can't wait to hear how you got out of the loop of shame and moved into a better area, because you might not be the problem after all.